Welcome back to the news at 10. A former Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Mr. Victor Ochei, has been speaking of the advantages he has over other aspirants for the People's Democratic Party governorship ticket in the state. Mr. Ochei, who submitted his expression of interest and nomination forms in Abuja today, says his political antecedents and resourcefulness are his strong points. He was accompanied by a crowd of supporters, including some leading politicians from the state to the party's national secretariat in Abuja.
Mr. Victor Ochei is surely not new to politics, and a huge number of supporters perhaps tell the story of his acceptance by Deltans. A grassroots politician and former Speaker of the state's House of Assembly, Mr. Ochei's track record in government is a boost to his confidence for the race.
I come to present to my people of Delta State, wonderful leadership born, one that will bridge the gap between the young generation and the new generation and the old generation. A leadership that will foster greater hope that Deltans will be very proud of. My antecedents speaks for themselves. I think it sounds a bit modest to speak so much for yourself. But if one thing I've done politically, I've grown administratively and politically. I've been able to handle positions and been tested under pressure, and I understand what it means to govern. Governance is a different kettle of fish, and I can assure you I'll give good governance. So my expectations from the primaries is simple. There's only one way forward, and that's going forward. My expectation is to win by the grace of God.
He's young, he's vibrant, and I'm sure the youths are clamoring for the young men to come up. So this is the opportunity Delta has.
Apart from the aspirants, his supporters also believe that he will combine resourcefulness, youthfulness, and experience in the development of his state.
And the person of our principal is a detribalized Delta. That is one of those things that is speaking for him now. He has demonstrated that as a speaker, reaching out to everybody in Delta State, irrespective of your ethnic nationality. With that, you know the people will always come behind him. Ochei, from all the aspirants currently contesting for the governorship seat in Delta State, we are of the opinion that Ochei is a technocrat, based on his antecedent and what he did when he was Speaker for the Delta State House of Assembly. This young man did marvelously well. On that note, we feel that he has everything it takes.
Victor is a very detribalized Delta. You know, he's a very intelligent, focused young man. He's you know, the workings of government at all levels, so he's got experience to do the job of the governor of Delta State.
Having served as the longest speaker in the Delta State House of Assembly, Mr. Ochei and his supporters surely understand the politics of the state and are sure of winning the party's primaries ahead of elections next year. On to health matters now. The Economic Community of West African States has summoned an emergency meeting in Accra, Ghana, to find a solution to the Ebola virus disease ravaging Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Dr. Ruben Abati, the Vice President Mamadi Sambo will join other West African leaders, including representatives from the United Nations and the World Health Organization, to discuss ways to assist these countries. The summit will also seek greater international support and collaboration for the containment of EVD. The Vice President is expected to share the details of Nigeria's successful containment of EVD after it entered the country in July this year through the Liberian-American Patrick Sawyer. Now, the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria has held its 87th annual national conference in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, and it was a double celebration with the launch of the Reload range of multivitamin drops for infants. The Reload for Kids multivitamin syrup, produced by Pharmacy Plus, is uniquely designed to meet the needs of the child's first 1,000 days of life, a period of rapid brain development.
People in this large crowd listen with rapt attention to the sessions at the 87th Annual National Conference of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria. Some take notes, others confer with each other. The launch of the product seems timely, given this year's theme, which is Transforming Pharmacy Practice for Better Outcomes. This service is performed by the president of the society, Olumide Akintayo.
To consumers of Nigeria, we say it shall be wellness and good health and prosperity to Nigerians as we are very visible God will give us today.
A professor of pediatrics at the University of Calabar, Emmanuel Ekanem, who had earlier given scientific analysis of the product, draws a connection between components of the syrup and cognitive development in children.
Certain nutrients we call micronutrients and vitamins, which are nutrients required in very tiny quantities, are very important for the intellectual development of the child and for the development of the ability of the child to resist infection. And the very important ones include vitamin A, vitamin D, iron, zinc. There are also other ones like the vitamin B group. And I emphasize also that when these things are deficient in the child's diet, the effect will show in the child's intellectual development.
These are among the only registered products you get in the market that have got the DHA, which is actually a constituent which helps in the development of brain in children and eyes. And those are the key vital organs for cognitive development of children.
Before now, the Reload range of products, which has been around for some time, consisted of Reload men, women, men 50 plus, and women 50 plus. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
First Bank.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Business News. I am Adeshewa Josh. As part of efforts to support the Naira, the central bank has banned the sale of dollars to importers of telecom equipment, power generators, and finished products at its foreign exchange auction. The central bank also restricted lenders and discount houses from placing more than 7.5 billion Naira each as deposits, with the regulator swelling interbank Naira liquidity. The Naira hit a new intraday low of 170.5 against the dollar today, falling 1.87% as the stock market continued to slide. Gas monetization, social stability, and adequate petroleum supply have been identified as some of the benefits that the downstream oil and gas sector will realize if power is improved in Nigeria. Some energy experts stated this at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry Forum on power generation today. They maintain that the negative effect of power supply increases their operational costs. Our correspondent Temple Ashaju reports.
In November last year, Nigeria's power sector was successfully privatized. The process saw the unbundling of the erstwhile Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, into 6 generating stations and 11 distribution companies. Today, it appears Nigerians are yet to reap the much expected benefits of regular power supply from the privatization exercise. At this forum, operators in the petroleum downstream sector and power generating business are x-raying the impact of energy supply in the oil and gas industry.
Non-availability of green power in reliable and adequate quantity necessitates the commitment of huge capital expenditures to install diesel generation plants at power filling stations and depots.
Concerns were raised in the audience on the reasons for the slow growth in the sector, and the group CEO of Ochei Oil, Akin Akifenwa, gives an explanation.
We've been generating approximately 140 megawatts of power every day since then. Though recently, and if you read the papers, we are awarded a $90 million contract to Mr. Siemens to carry out a major overhaul of our power plants so that we can boost that production from 140 to 440
One of the key points that can be inferred from this forum is the fact that power generation does not only have its effect on the real sectors of the economy, but also in the petroleum downstream industry. And the question that begs right now is that with the new year around the corner, is there anything that is likely to change?
Alternatively, you can have gas, you can have liquid gas, so that can be used for the industry, but you need to get better energy to catch up with the industrial growth that we are already seeing coming.
The PIB needs to be passed for investors to begin to at least have some clear direction regarding the petroleum downstream sector and how it can now support the power sector.
Nigeria's power generation capacity currently stands at 6,000 megawatts, but only about 4,000 is currently being generated, leaving a deficit of 40,000 megawatts. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
Arco Group PLC, an indigenous oil and gas servicing company, has held its 32nd annual general meeting in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. Now, the company posted a profit after tax of 1.523 billion naira. And consequently, the board approved a dividend payment of 25 kobo, representing a 25% rise for the year-end March the 31st, 2013. Our correspondent, Olu Phillips, reports.
Still holding a position of dominance in the price category of indigenous companies in the oil and gas sector, Arco Group PLC is having its 32nd AGM to delight shareholders and to continue telling the story of success.
The earnings per share of the company increased by 3.63% from 55 kobo per share to 57 kobo per share. Gross margin increased from 5.75% 2013 financial year to 61.04% in 2012 financial year. Overall, we had a very successful financial year.
Particularly with the strategy-driven 5-year enterprise transformation projects, with a gross revenue of 569 million, representing 10.83%, up from 5.2 billion for year-end March 2013 to 1.995 billion for the year ended 31st March 2014. 1.4 billion in profit after tax in 2013 rose to 1.523 billion naira in 2014.
And since 2008, they've been declaring dividend. I also declared bonus shares, and my shares has grown. In fact, I regretted not adding more money. If I had known that it's going to be a company that doesn't default in terms of paying shares, I would have added more money.
And of course, the company is also very well positioned in the service sector of the oil and gas industry. Very well equipped in terms of materials, in terms of men, professionalism, ethics, and it's a delight to the clients.
ARCO says a diversified income base, capacity building, expertise, and strong management team are key drivers of growth for the company.
The Arco Pipeline Solution had a contract in the international market because it's an ISO certified organization, in Equatorial Guinea and so on. So those are the sort of things that are driving the organization.
Not relenting, the group managing director of Arco Group, Alfred Okoigo, says 35 new companies have been incorporated, covering electricity, agriculture, manufacturing, maritime, and more. He's asking ambitious, skillful Nigerians to take advantage of this opportunity. Just the way to go, you say? Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
The Nigerian equities market has witnessed its biggest loss in 5 years as the benchmark index dropped by more than 4% to close at 34,494.93. Here's Bolaji Akinwale with the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The Nigeria equities market on Thursday recorded its biggest loss in 5 years as the benchmark index fell 4.07% to close at 34,494.93. Now, this led to the drop in the market's capitalization to 11.425 trillion naira. The last time the index fell to this degree was during the 2008 market crisis, which led to a drop of 4.56%. Traders say a panic sell-off, investors' apathy, risk aversion, and cautious trading all characterized activities for the day. Mid-cap stocks topped the advances table. NACO and Resta Express added 22 kobo and 18 kobo to the share prices. On the other hand, food giant Nestle lost 47 naira 50 kobo ahead of 40 Oil and Dangote Cement. Meanwhile, Sterling Bank topped the volume chart with 339.7 million shares. It was followed by Continental Insurance and Mansard Insurance. At the end of the session, total volume recorded stood at 1.327 million shares at the value of 8.373 billion naira and exchanged in 4,188 deals. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Thanks a lot, Balaji. And that's business news tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Bank. Still ahead on the news at 10, President Goodluck Jonathan sets to commission the Akwa Ibom Stadium in Uyo tomorrow. That's on